Well, good evening and welcome to tonight's Caithness Amateur Drum Antique Society tasting. And tonight we're going to taste two Murray McDavid uh, bottlings from the Benchmark series. First up, we have the Murray McDavid Benchmark Craig Ellichie 8-year-old Colburn drum finish at 46% ABV. And then we're moving over from Speyside to Isla, and we've got the Murray McDavid Benchmark Bowmore 15-year-old port cask finish at 46%. So, first up is the Murray McDavid Benchmark Craigellachie 8-year-old Colburn drum finish. And just a little bit about Murray McDavid to start with. At Murray McDavid, they understand the importance of maturation in the making of whisky, using their many years of experience and the best oak casks from around the world. They create diverse styles of Scotch whisky, and their whisky creations team travel the world in search of good wood. They select sherry casks from the bodegas of Spain, fortified wine casks from Madeira, port pipes from Portugal, and a wide selection of wine barriques from Europe's finest vineyards. They also seek out American oak barrels from bourbon makers in the United States and rum casks from distilleries in the Caribbean. They have exclusive wood supply agreements with their cask suppliers, such as the Koval distillery in Chicago and the Murcia Wine Cooperative in Portugal. It's their emphasis on getting the best casks and preaching the art of maturation that makes Murray McDavid's whiskies truly special. Uh, the offering here is a little younger, matured first in a sherry butt. It was then finished in an ex-rum cask before being bottled, unchill filtered at 46% ABV. It's a blend of three casks and was distilled in 2007 and bottled in 2016. The unusually heavy Craigellachie Speyside spirit has been taken through an unusual and complicated maturation by the Murray McDavid Whisky Creations team. Starting life in a refill American oak barrel, it was then split into three unique and unusually sized casks. 30-gallon casks from the Koval distillery were seasoned with rich, flavoursome rum, and some of the Craigellachie spirit was then filled into these casks to further mature. One of Murray McDavid's uniquely coopered Colburn drums, which are casks which resemble a bass drum, was also seasoned with 160 litres of rum before being filled with the remaining whisky. After a brief maturation in these unique casks, the spirit, which had developed a sweet honeyed aroma, was married and bottled, and the total outturn was 713 bottles. So let's see what we have here. Sort of pale gold colour on this one. Some sticky, thick tears. Yeah, lovely thick tears in this one. Let's see where the nose takes it. And even this early, In a blind tasting, I would be suspecting this was a Craigellachie because Craigellachie has a touch of sulphur in the nose. Stark matches, and the sulphur and burnt matchstick notes on the nose of this whisky are obvious, at least to my sensitive nose. You can tell it's young, and it's malty, oat cakes, and there's a touch of grapefruit. Buttery malt and barley sugar. And there's heather honey and straw. And there's apple and grilled pineapples. It's fresh and toasty with rich malts and buttery cream crackers. I'm going to try this on the mouth. And from the beginning, you get sherry notes of raisins and sultanas from the sherry cask, sherry butt. Uh, and there's clear rum right at the beginning. And then you get woody notes, sort of dry, slightly tingling, and spiciness, pepper, tart, it's almost bitter. It's rich, and it's got a full-bodied mouthfeel. You get white sugar, black pepper, and a very dark chocolate, butter, and a touch, back to the sulphur, a touch of gunpowder. It's sweet, fruity. There's citrus, lemon peel, and honey. Honey, caramel, and biscuit with vanilla fudge, apple, and a light prickly spice. And there's lots of juicy citrus, vanilla beans, and honeydew melon. And as it opens with the nose, you get a bit of nectarine emerging, adding a nice brightness to an otherwise cereal heavy nose. Fruity, slightly sour, very intense. Fermented tropical fruits, passion fruit, and slight nuttiness behind that. And there's woody notes, vanilla, and it remains predominantly acidic. It's oily, uh, with enough spice to keep the taste buds tingling. But the flavours are all a bit front loaded, bursting on the first sip and then receding quickly. And it's a sort of medium length finish, quite earthy, again with dark chocolates and toffee. It's not particularly sweet, although the associations I get are heading in that direction. I'm going to try 4 drops of water in this. I use a little pipette to just control the additional water. So you can always add more, but you can't take it away. Let's have a look at this. And it's gone quite cloudy, a lovely Scotch mist. And you get some malty notes, pastries, cinnamon, that kind of orange liqueur appearing, Cointreau appearing in the background. I get vanilla and now some meatiness. You get the sort of sausage water, the water left over after you've cooked your sausages, and runny honey. Try the mouth. And now the spicy notes come out more clearly in the taste. The cinnamon and star anise. And the finish is rather short, tart, and with a distinct oak. In the background again, there's tropical fruits, coffee, burnt toast, and it has a saliva stimulating bitterness. There's a lot going on here for a malt of such relative youth, 8 years old. It's not cheap, and this kind of complexity doesn't often come at an affordable price, but I think it's reasonable, everything taken into account. And I fear that the waft of sulphur may be enough to put some people off, but personally, I've always quite liked the smell of struck matches. And in any case, there seems to be enough going on to keep everything in balance. Not for everyone, perhaps, but a rewarding experience for those who can handle Craigellachie's ugly side. So, we'll cleanse our palates. Tonight I'm on Mackenzie's biscuits from Cummingston in Aberdeenshire, and they are very, very neutral. They don't have any spiciness to them or anything. So next up, we're moving to the McDavid benchmark Bowmore 15-year-old port cask finish at 46% ABV. So the Scottish Bowmore distillery is located on the idyllic island of Islay, which is part of the Inner Hebrides. It was founded in the 18th century, making it one of Scotland's oldest distilleries. And Bowmore is a typical Isla whiskey. It shows a distinct peat smoke note and many sea and salt aromas. Uh, it's has a lot of core releases, but this one is from Murray McDavid, and it was initially filled into a sherry butt, and then it was matured for its final 4 years. It's 15-year-old, so its final 4 years it was matured in a fresh port pipe. Um, Distilled in 2001, bottled in 2016, and it's cask number 5. And the number of bottles were 935 and 46% ABV. So let's see what we have here. And it's a little darker. Uh, the port pipes are certainly, and it's older, of course, than the Craigellachie was. And there's nice tears on this again. I would describe this as a sort of burnished copper and lovely tears, absolutely lovely tears on this one, very sticky. Not cast strength, it's been watered down, but let's see what we have. And I get sea spray and smoke. It's peaty and floral. And the feeling in the nose is cool, rich, and stuffy, with just a touch of alcohol. And it's port wine and oak that are the first to hit the nose. But immediately afterwards, you smell dried fruits such as raisin and prunes. The sweetness of fresh fruits such as dates and figs show up, along with hints of lemon zest and bitter cashew nuts. And then the intense Bowmore malt with notes of heavy smoke and burnt wood completes the fragrance. It's a lovely scent, where both the port wine cask and Bowmore's distillate clearly show themselves. It's slightly peaty, smoky, salty, mineral, earthy, raisins, herby, citrus notes, coffee, and something like burnt matches and a cigar box. Rich stewed fruit, berries and blackberries, and hints of bitter dark chocolate, finished with the Bowmore smokiness. We'll try this on the mouth. It's earthy, medicinal, and sweet smoke. The feeling in the mouth is warm, wide, and soft as velvet. And the alcohol leaves its mark everywhere. Salty almonds and dry port wine continue the taste. And then there's some sweet fruit with some bitter dark chocolate, followed by a little orange liqueur and fig jam. And as in the nose, there's a little smoke and burnt wood appear towards the end. This has a wonderful and unique taste. It's nice and sweet, peppery, mineral, salty, red fruity, something woody and coffee-ish. It's complex and it's warm and it's rounded. It's full of fruit flavours like brambles and damson jam, and followed again with a subtle earthy peat and smoke. And a dryness fills the mouth, but it slowly transforms into a sweet warmth that spreads throughout the body. The alcohol bites away, but when it's calmed down, it leaves behind a wonderful bitterness that blends nicely with the sweetness. It's great when the finish can surprise you like this and change from almost suffocating to setting the whole system in motion. It's a long aftertaste, complex, warm, and very satisfying. I'm going to try 4 drops of water in this. Ah, lovely Scotch mist again. Let's see where the water takes us. Now, sometimes I find that water increases saltiness, increases the smokiness, but in this, it's still a very soft smoke, and it's sweet dried fruits, dates, figs, and raisins. And there's some spices, and a juicy red apple. And there is a light minerality and light saltiness. The port barrel is there, but the vinous aromas do not get out of hand. It's a beautiful bright bowl nose with beautiful bitter sweet barrel flavours in the aromas. Try them out. It's sweet, smoky, with dried fruits, berries, red apples, and spices, and the floral, a little violet. I like that. Sweet wine flavours and a decent barrel note. And then the beautiful, slightly perfumed peat from Beaumont. And the finish, sweet, smoky, medium duration, brimming with salt, long chocolatey heat, and again that little bit of violet and bittersweet Beaumont. Port wine casks and Beaumont go together perfectly. If you give this dram time to warm up, then you'll be rewarded with a fantastic taste and not least a wonderful finish. There are no words, the ideal symbiosis of port and whiskey, like the work of a genius sculptor. Everything unnecessary is thrown away here, and only the essence is left. And this essence is beautiful. Thank you. Good evening.